Hello, welcome to Scrap Time episode 705. My name is Christine and on today's episode we are coloring with our Copics using stamps by Tailored Expressions. Today I'm showing you the Merry Little Cocktail set from Tailored Expressions. And when I first saw this stamp set, I knew I wanted to show you because it was an adult Christmas set. There's so many times where you get a lot of cutesy cards and that. And this was fun because if you're having a cocktail party or you're just sending a Christmas card to someone who doesn't have kids or who prefers cocktails, I thought it was great. You don't see a lot of stamp sets at Christmas geared more towards adults. It can be a Christmas set. You could send out New Year's cards, or if you're actually having a cocktail party, there's a little saying for cocktail parties. But I'm going to show you how you can color these with Copics. So the stamps too are rubber stamps on easy mount. They're a little larger than pictured on the front. And I'm going to use this little cocktail one today for our sample. Put it on my block. I have a little piece of paper here I use for coloring with Copics. I'm going to stamp it using the Memento black ink because that works really well. It won't bleed when you color over it with Copics. And I'm just going to stamp it on like that. Now you'll notice that this is a really small image, and so stamping or coloring in with your Copics, it's harder to blend your colors because you have such a little space to work with. So I am starting with R43, and I'm going to color in this little area. I'm going to pretend I'm having like a crantini or some little cranberry cocktail drink. Now the other great thing about this stamp set is that if you do want to color with your Copics but you don't want to spend an hour on an image, it's really quick and easy to color these in. It's a nice small image. So get a nice base there. I'm going to let that dry a little and go to my next image. I'm going to do the tree, and I'm starting with YG25, and I'm just going to color the base of the tree. Sometimes if you go to color over an image that is wet and saturated, if you keep adding more and more ink, what will happen is that's when the bleed will happen. So I'm just letting my markers dry a little bit before I add in the next level. And then for this little design here, I'm going to be doing it in orange. And I am starting with YR04. So you want to do your little circle coloring, get your edges. And one final thing I'm going to do before I start blending is I'm using B000, and I'm just doing it a bit along the edge of the glass. I find when you use these really light blues, it just helps sort of define the glass. Nothing too major there. Okay, so now it's time to start adding my second color in. So I am using R46, a strong red, but what I'm going to do is do the tip-to-tip blending. So I'm starting with my R43. I'm just picking up a little bit of that red, and I am going to blend it in. I'm just going across like that to blend it. And you can see how it's adding a nice darker red to my pink drink. Then I can add a little bit more for just at the edge. So you can add layers of the same sort of deep red color. And this gives a smoother blended color than if I was to put this red directly onto the image. So we have our drink there. So now our Christmas tree needs a little bit extra. So my darker color here is YG17 I'm using. Take off the lids. And so I'm taking my YG25, picking up that darker and just working it into the side of the tree. Okay, and then now my orange. I had started with YR04 and this is YR07. And there I've just been able to make it a little darker. And my image is done being colored. So it's very quick. And when you do tip-to-tip blending is the best way to get that darker color in. If I wanted it even darker, I could get a darker marker and still continue to work with it. But that was fine for me. I'm going to show you 2 cards I made. So here's that first card. I just did a different color on the little ornament part there. And then I just layered it with a green and a red paper to pick up my colors. Mounted it on a white card, so it's very clean, very easy. And then I put "Have Yourself a Merry Little Cocktail." And then I made this card here with that long one and just varied using the same colors, the reds and the greens. You notice here I used a bit of the blue, you might be able to see, just to highlight the cups. Pops of orange, and then I used the orange, the green, and the red just to mount it across, celebrate the season. So that is using Copics with this set here, the Merry Little Cocktail from Tailored Expressions. Well, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our website at www.scraptime.ca. And on our next episode, I'm showing you a fun and easy way to dress up your envelopes. So please join us. Thanks for watching Scrap Time.